here and an item here and them equaling out. It's not equaling out. It's bookkeeping.
It's you're right, yeah, it's right.
So it's gonna show that Robin has a check out for $600 that's never been cashed. It's gonna mess up her books. The auditor's gonna come in here next January and show that we had a check for $600 that was never checked. Never came back.
That's why I have it here. It's attached to my daily sheet.
Let's see, let me bring this back there while you got it, okay? That check's not cashed.
It's just a matter of record keeping. I don't keep records at home like that. We sure shouldn't do it in City Hall. If we've got $500 out there, it's not been demonstrated and put back into the system. You just don't do it that way.
Well, we don't make deals that the council don't approve. But anyway, I don't know what you're gonna do about it, but I believe that, like David said, it's gonna be called on with the auditor. It's definitely gonna show up a check paid out and it never came back in.
And I also made a copy of where the other 100 was paid and the title that it went to. And it's attached to that daily sheet that it.
The other 100 that was wrote out,
You paid
the last 100, who wrote that check?
Yeah, who wrote the last 100?
I did.
So you paid for the
You
police
paid
car?
the
did.
$100?
I paid the man, I paid for men, because I was responsible for letting him take the car. But the city did not lose a dime, okay?
That's not the point.
No, it is the point. The city is not losing any
No,
money
that's not the
whatsoever.
point. That's not the way you handle this office. If that was your personal property, it'd be different, but this is city property we're talking about.
This don't belong, it belongs to the taxpayers.
The council voted to sell that car for $800. The
Cash.
city got their car.
Cash.
The
We
city got.
always vote for cash.
It doesn't matter cash
Not
or.
pay-
Yes, it
Payments.
does, because we have denied people because they didn't come in the next day and pay their bill.
Yeah, okay.
We've turned people's water off
Yeah.
that didn't pay their bills.
Well, the
That was a
man.
bill that wasn't paid and we didn't agree to payments.
Well,
This has to go through council approval when you do something like
yeah.
that. Shows a little on the shady side when you go doing something behind their back.
Listen, we got records to show that nobody profited from this deal.
We're not talking
Nobody.
about profit.
We're
We're
talking
talking
He
about
is.
the
He
mayor.
just now said it.
Oh, no, I
We're
didn't say anything
talking
about
about
profit.
the mayor paying $100 on something when that's not the way it should have been to start with.
Well, listen, you know, I don't know. I'm an honest, principled person. I trust everybody.
Trust has nothing to do with
Yes, it
matters
is,
of the
yeah.
city. No,
No.
no, no. We're
City
talking about
business.
Well,
citizens'
you're
money.
gonna-
We're talking about taxpayers' money. We're talking about my money.
A city-
I was voted in, this council was voted in to watch over their money.
A city,
And it's not being spent and handled right, evidently.
a city is here for public purpose.
That's right.
Public purpose.
That's
What's
right.
What's good for the city is
No.
good for everybody.
We are here for the citizens, for the city. We're here to watch over their money. That is a mismanagement of money. I'm sorry, it is. If it's not demonstrated in the records.
Let them see that it's on there.
I thought we
I
were gonna
highlighted
start a
it.
new year off, and I'm telling you the truth, we're rehashing old stuff.
It's right there on it.
Have we received any money from the Fraser Foundation?
Yes,
Like we received a check from them?
yes.
Where's that on the encumbrment
It
sheet?
shows the 4,000 on the general fund sheet.
Overlook. Oh, never mind. I see it now.
$4,795.
Okay, I see
That was
it.
used to pay
All of our dues
dues
with.
and everything.
And it's earmarked on the checks where it was spent out to. Cumberland Valley Ad, paid by Fraser Foundation. Rural Water Dues, paid by Fraser Foundation. Tri-City Heritage, paid by Fraser.
What does
And
the
it's right down to the penny right there.
what does the Tri-City Heritage do for the city of Cumberland?
What Bobby Gothard's over.
It's a Main Street program. It's really a grant writing agency. They're the ones that
Cleon
really.
participates in that too.
I'd have to have a whole ream of paper to tell you what they do for Cumberland, Gentlemen Lane. But I could do that, you know, if you desire that. I don't have it with me, I'd have to do it later.
You have reimbursement for Cody Williams, $808. I've never seen that before on our in-service.
He's using his own vehicle to travel for training, and at 35 cents a mile, and
It costs $800.
Well, that's for about, I think, four trips, I think.
4 weeks. He gets, it's 35 cents a mile, and it's
165 miles there and 165 miles back, then there and back.
and he's been up there about,
Have we ever done that before?
no, we usually let him use a police car before.
One trip's 165 miles.
There,
Yeah.
Where's it at?
Richmond.
Did he give you a gas
$230
receipt?
a week.
No, he's using his own vehicle. We were just paying him 35 cents a mile. That's a flat
Is that
rate.
a city policy
That's a city
somewhere?
policy. That's a city policy, yes.
Is that in the ordinance book?
Yes, it is, yes.
And I had asked at last council meeting, we try to put these in alphabetical order, so it's easier to look at when somebody else is talking instead of having to look down through there, so I'll bring that up again if we can put them in
It
alphabetical order.
wouldn't let us do it. We tried to.
Well, you got a bad
Guess we'll
program.
have
You should, if you're using,
Yeah.
is this in a table format in
Yeah,
Word?
like,
It
It's
should.
in Excel.
Excel should let you
Yeah, it
highlight
should,
that first
yeah.
column and then
Yeah,
go
sort
to
them.
sort.
Go to sort and sort them.
Okay. We'll try her again.
It's just easier when somebody's
the
talking
GK
about something for me to
service?
try to find what they're talking
So-
about.
Rental uniform. It's payroll deductible.
But we don't have rental uniforms for the police department, do we?
No, it shouldn't be under there. It should be under the,
It's under the police department.
it's supposed to be under maintenance.
We need to change that so it doesn't reflect on the budget.
There's one under. Hold on. There's one under police and one under maintenance. Should them be added together?
What was the unit, what was under the police department?
How about G&K uniforms?
G&K uniforms.
I
Y'all don't have anything to do, Wayne,
No, no, they don't.
Is that G&K services?
so that should have been,
Yeah, that's just got offline there.
So it
should
should
be
be
Because it's,
added
much is it?
together.
it's maintenance,
How
water
much
and
is it?
sewer.
Oh,
It's
so that should be under.
$109.
109 should be somewhere else.
where should that 109 go? Because maintenance already has 174.66.
The sewer,
So we don't have their own column.
yeah,
Oh,
but that's where it should go
so
though.
it should go with the water.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry about that.
Fine.
Water has one for 152.83, so we'd add that together?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
yeah.
So
I was
you're
trying
doing
to
water
figure
and
out-
sewer at 2 different times?
On this council pay, why it's $3,610 with a $190 discrepancy. What is the $190 discrepancy?
We didn't, because of Norma.
Well, I know that, but I mean, that's not a figure. It's $50 a month, so it's a $190 difference. What's, that don't come
Some
out
of
right.
it.
I don't know right now, I couldn't tell you.
Some of us had those books. Could
Yeah,
be
some of them
it.
had the books,
I
that's
did, I
why.
had a book.
I had a
Yeah.
Oh, you
book.
had the book took out?
Yeah,
This
it's
is-
$20,
I didn't have
yeah.
the money and they took it out of mine.
Okay. all
They
right.
took,
Well, that's probably.
we
It
actually
is.
voted on that.
That's for the
The
hard.
big red one.
I think
That's
you
a
did
odd
20 one
figure.
year, 20 another
I could
year.
not
Yeah.
figure out how that
That's
could come out
why.
to an odd figure like that, but that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't remember how many of us
Oh,
did it,
okay.
but
Yeah, it wasn't everybody.
there was 3 or
I
4
don't
of them.
reorder
Yeah.
mine, there was 2 or 3.
Yeah, she doesn't have
Because
hers.
even, I think Parker ordered his,
Yeah, Parker
he
got
paid for
his
his,
that
but
way, paid for
he
it.
ordered his the same time we
Yeah.
did.
Did you did too, Carla, didn't you? Yeah, Carla.
Wayne, did you all
Sorry.
get your winter coats? Is that part of this or not? Or have you ever got those winter coats we talked about, or
We got some coats, but not the one we talked about.
was it the one, I think we got a copy, is that what we got a copy of a little while back? Some kind of
What did-
jackets or
What
something?
did we get
kind of-
now?
A&A
I was wondering if that's
Enterprise.
anything in here, or they
I
got
mean, what is
the
that?
coats that we
It's,
talked
they
about
bought
before?
4 patches,
What about J&R Printing?
work orders, or They done our work orders up for us, and receipt books.
I have a question. It has to do with payroll. We got a new list of employees, and it lists Miss Cornett as the water clerk. So does her salary come from the water and sewer fund?
No, she's the administration.
So they have their own payroll section?
Hmm.
Does that come out of general fund then?
Yeah. Me, Teresa, and Kelly are out of the general fund.
There's, the Harlan Daily you got on here for maintenance and administration. What's that?
Where we run ads for, those vehicles and,
Public
run
hearing.
public hearing and something else.
For that.
Well, there's a way you can decrease that cost. It's nothing against the Harlan Daily, but you should run that in your local paper. It's half the price.
It's mandatory that we run it in the Harlan Daily Enterprise.
Oh, no.
Now, if it's
No, no, no.
optional,
It's
we,
not mandatory.
It is not.
Harlan
I done looked
Daily,
into that. I even called the League of Cities about that. That's not true.
well, I'm sorry, I disagree.
You can
It's-
disagree. but
It's
you can't disagree
mandatory
with
that
the
we
cities.
run in the city, in the paper of record. And I'm going to run it in the paper of record.
I don't know why we
Well, you're
can't do
gonna,
it.
you're gonna waste taxpayer dollars against our advice. is what
It's,
you're gonna do.
we have no choice in that. It's mandatory that we run the ads in the district or the area paper of record.
Is the Tri-City News still open for business? Okay,
Well-
I'm just checking. They're still open for business, so you can do
Yeah.
business with
Well,
them.
we can run it in the Tri-City News if you want to run it in both papers.
No, you don't have
No.
to. According to the League of Cities, we have a local
I'm
paper,
sorry,
that's what
I'm
we do.
sorry, I don't
I
see
think
that.
that'd be something good for our new lawyer to check on for us, please.
Yeah, you want to see the law? I've got it right back here.
I'll file a motion
Well,
with
I
the
mean,
Attorney General's
no.
office, see how that works.
We've already discussed that before.
It's just wasting money.
And see if we can make
That was
some
an
type of
audience we
motion
all
to,
talked about
where we
a
have
while
to use
ago.
paper for.
Yeah. Because we've
We've got to cut costs. That's the whole.
you look
objective.
around, everything's shut down, closing down.
Well,
We can't continue just to do this. You're
let's stay on, go ahead and get your AG or whatever you want to get, but let's go ahead with these financial
I will.
statements.
On the water and sewer, Tri-City Septic,
Tri-City Septic.
18,000 out of water, 450.
1,800.
1,800, sorry.
Correct that real quick.
1,800 out of water and 450 out of sewer. Why are we needing septic services?
It's confined entry spaces, and they have to pump out their lift stations that are.
Do they have their certification in
Yes,
that?
they're doing the job, and nobody says anything about it. Yeah, they're certified.
Do
Check
they have their certification for confined spaces?
the man's name is Charles Heath, Tri-City Septic, and
Mayor,
his
it's not
qualities.
up to
it's
us
not
to
up
ask,
to- it's up to you.
That's your position.
And here's another thing, if you change those pumps to submersibles, you'll stop having to go back and do this. You're spending roughly a little over $2,000 a month with this group, and it's nothing against the group. We could have done bought a submersible, put in there, and not have to send anybody down there because it can be pulled out without anybody going into the hole.
Well, 4 of those lift stations are going to be changed. Should have been started this month sometime with that FEMA grant that Leo Miller and them's got going, okay? Now, I don't think you can put a submersible pump in those lift stations for sewage. You could do it for water, primarily water, but I don't think you could. But the sludge and stuff that goes through these, it takes a bigger pump. But I'll discuss that with Mr. Miller whenever they start putting in those 4.
It'll save you some money, and again, you need to check all these certifications, because if something happens to somebody, it comes back on the city. It's up to us to check that.
Well, and not only that, does
C.L.
it cost
Bob.
$1,800 to send someone to get the training?
Probably not.
It costs $160-some.
Well, why are we paying that at $1,800 when we can send somebody to get the training?
We've got 4 that would like to go get the training.
I mean, right there, you save money there.
Takes more of the training. You've got to have a lot of gear also.
Well, that's okay.
We've got the gear too
Yeah.
as well.
I mean, you know,
We've got the winches, the
$1,800.
harnesses, We just don't have the training.
Well, the class dates, you gotta get the class dates and things, get it scheduled, and,
It's a whole lot cheaper than $1,800.
Well, Mr. Bradridge applied for his, and didn't you have to reimburse him his money where you didn't let him go?
I did, we reimbursed him for the money, but, there was a reason he didn't go, because the people from the EPA and the Department of Water were coming up that week for an inspection, for where we've been violating the ordinances over the years.
So we've got somebody willing to go, we just need to do that.
We just need
And
to
you
get.
wouldn't have to pay up that kind of money.
Right, okay, right. We'll send them as soon as we get a class date.
Boss Printing.
Do
Water,
our
and
water,
sewer.
they do our water bills.
That water bills for a year?
Just about, yeah. Yeah, it about covers
Okay.
at least
I
10
think I
months.
seen that last year too.
Yeah.
They do.
You buy it in bulk, it's cheaper.
They do just those pre-stamped.
Yeah. They're ready to go to the post office.
So that includes postage as
Well,
well?
no, but they're already ready. It's a cheaper rate the way those cards are.
Okay, if that's all the questions on the financial statements, anything else that you wanna? The mayor's comments, I have my intentions of raising some pay if and when we ever get a budget started. I have plans, we got some key personnel that are really coming through for this city. And the only way we can continue to progress, whether you believe we are or not, is to depend on the people that can do the work. And to keep those people, we have to pay them. Like in our police department and our maintenance department, the people there have proven to be highly capable and intelligent individuals. And as you know, the mayor can increase their wages as long as he stays in the budget, wherever the budget's at. And I intend to do that. I intend to make a across-the-board pay increase to all employees. Anybody making $7.25 up to $9, I'm going to increase their pay 3%. Anybody making from $9 up to $11, I'm going to increase their pay by 2%. And anyone making more than $11, I'm going to increase their pay by 1%. And that's about it varies from anywhere from 24 cents to 18 cents an hour pay increases for those people. Now, that's what my plans are right now. And I've got two people that I'm going to make just a flat increase in their pay and stay within the board budget by doing it. Like I said before, the overtime before we took office was $49,000. The sick hourly was $11,000. The vacation hours was $28,000. That amount has been decreased considerably. The overtime is lowered to $11,000, and the hourly rate was about $4,000 for the vacation for the sick hourly was $4,000, and the vacation hours are lowered to about $9,000. So, and the overtime in the last 3 months, I think we've had 4 hours of overtime in the last 3 months. All of the employees are cooperating. We checked with the Department of Labor. Rather than if they work 40 hours, their weekends, I don't care if it's on a Thursday or Friday or Saturday, if they get 40 hours in, at 40 hours they go home for the week. And they've agreed to do this. And there's nothing wrong with it. Department of Labor agrees with it, and that way we can cut. And the way the management is now, the people can take the time off rather than get paid because they have good supervision, good directions, and their equipment is in top shape right now. So that's all I'll have to say. Now we can go into council comments.
We wait till Robin gets back.
Mr. Mayor, on the raises, when will this go into effect?
Bill, I'll put it on as soon as I can get the budget. As we're working on the new budget for I just started on the new budget for fiscal year 13, and the fiscal year budget for 12 has never been completed yet. It's still in the hands of the council, and I'm waiting for them to approve it or just But we can travel on the budget we got until about March or April, I think. And the auditor told me if we can't have something done by that time, the city will just have to close down because we can only spend money so long on the old budget. But we definitely have to have a new the new budget by July the 1st. And he was I don't know why it would be March or April would be the last period of time that we can use the fiscal year 2012 budget.
Is the auditor going to be here when they discuss the 2012 budget?
Yeah, he finished up today on the audit, and he'll be here.
Is there some reason? I don't know. Is there some reason that we didn't vote for the budget to 2012?
I don't know.
Maybe he was waiting on the audit. I don't know.
From some of the things I saw in it, some things have been spent where they shouldn't and hadn't been amended, and we've never had a budget amendment to reflect all those, and we were waiting on the budget amendment so that we could actually reflect in each department as to what they have and have not spent.
Okay, has that not been corrected?
No, we don't correct that. Our auditor's the one that made the budget. He's
No, we
our
have the
auditor-
budget
We did
amendments.
not want a budget, but it was a generalized one.
our auditor will have to explain the system on our budget. We do not have to amend the budget the way that it's set up now. We made it a.
Well, we disagreed with the way it was set up last time. That was the whole point. That's the reason we didn't approve 2012. We wanted it itemized. And Robin did do one.
Yeah,
and
we
give
sent it
us.
back to you, yeah. We did itemize it, line item budget, and you've got it now.
We scheduled a workshop.
Yeah, at one time we scheduled it, it fell through.
Why, who would say, do you mean the council didn't show up? The
No.
workshop's not a meeting. It's a public meeting, but that's the council meeting. I didn't know you had to schedule one, I'd have been here. But it's not necessary that I show up. Okay, we'll go into council comments. Ron, do you have anything you want to?
The only thing that I have probably, and I don't know for sure if it will fly, on the agenda, I would like to see old business put in place and new business. It seems like we're wasting a lot of time just discussing generality. Why not stick to our agenda and make sure we stick to it? And this way our meetings will be much less timely. And I would like to see inserted right after your comments, Mr. Mayor, old business and new business. I think this is very important because we're kind of taking the initiative to say, well, we go backwards and forth. If we stay to our old business, we stay on our old business. Then we go to our new business, and I think that's what I'm accustomed to. That's my suggestion.
You want to make motion?
I'd like to make a motion. for
Make a
that.
motion to that effect, okay?
Yes, I will. I'd like to make a motion that after the review of the financial statement, that we insert old business and new business, and we kind of stick to the agenda. And Lord knows, we don't want to stay here long. I'm sorry, I'm starting to ramble.
You're fine.
But that'd be my motion.
Okay, to insert old business, new business, right
After-
following the
after-
mayor's comments?
Yes, after your
Okay.
mayor's comments.
I second the motion.
Okay.
Did you second it?
Yeah. Motion's made by Ron Jarvis, second by David Dixon. And would you read it back?
Okay.
Jarvis
I know
made
what
a
that
motion.
vote's
Uh,
for. I said,
Jarvis
the
made a
budget, I was
motion.
thinking, who's doing that?
To insert on the agenda old and new business after the mayor's comments.
Okay. Anything else, like motion to have a limit on the council meetings of 2 hours or 2.5 hours or 3 hours or?
No.
Because we
I
never
don't
get
think we
anything
can
done.
do that.
It's kind of hard to pinpoint a time, but I would say if we utilize our time
Properly.
good,
Mhm.
properly, that we should be out of here at least 2 hours, no more than 2 hours, and we adjourn and be on our way. I would like to have that in my motion also.
Okay, just make another motion, okay?
How was that now?
That a time be established
Yes?
for 2 hours.
Can
No,
we do
that's not
that?
what you said, yeah.
No, I'd say we strive for a 2-hour meeting.
Yeah. It seems like once
That's not a
before
motion.
is.
We don't.
Yeah, we don't
The
even
public-
know, it's just a
The
comment.
public has to have a chance
That's
to
his comment.
speak, and if we went too
If you
long
make
and
a
they didn't
motion,
get a
you have
chance to
to stick
speak,
with that.
would be named, then I
Well,
would.
if we go
I
from
can get
the
other meeting.
agenda now, each person has 3-hour time limit. I mean, 3-minute time limit.
We've been here now.
If the council utilizes the same time,
That time limit's not legal.
okay, it
It's-
is legal?
It shouldn't
Okay.
even be on the
It's
agenda.
just a,
Yeah.
okay.
Don't forget these games.
So I guess the time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say nothing, thank you. So, okay, so that last comment is just a comment,
Yeah,
okay?
just a comment.
Anything else?
That's all.
Miss Elliott?
Well, I'd love to give everybody the best raise ever was, but I totally disagree with giving across the board a raise at this time. The mines have just closed. Coal severance tax is gonna be down. We have people gonna leave the area. We have priorities in the city as far as things that need to be done, like sending people for trainings and et cetera. And I honestly feel like we need to sit and look at the budget and our income versus our outcome before we even establish another pay raise. Also, I'm looking at this date of
Might
list
wanna
of.
wait for the mayor
Yeah,
to come
you might
back.
wanna wait and come back.
Where'd he go? Did he get mad at what I said or something?
He got tired of you.
He asked.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did he ask me?
We still have a motion that we haven't voted on, and that was on my agenda.
That's correct.
That's right.
That's great, we need to take care of that.
We're just excited to get out of here.
All those,
The motion's been
you
made.
read the motion back, okay, Robbie?
Okay. Jarvis made a motion that on the agendas, we insert old and new business after the mayor's comments.
So,
And seconded by Mr. Dixon.
all with consensual agreement, all those in favor so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carried. Miss Elliott, would you
Okay,
hold
and
up?
Also on this employee list of date of hiring and wages, I have people that's generalized in their departments. I don't have what their job description is. I have no idea what they're actually doing pertaining to what their job is. I mean, they're just thrown in the department, and that's it. That's all it shows. It doesn't show the fire department on here. I mean, I have no idea if they're actually should get what they're being paid, because I don't know what their duty is. And also, we don't have a sewer department, more or less, if you look at our policy manual. I mean, these people aren't in here by departments. I wanna know what their job titles are.
Each man has got a job description and a
But
job
it's not
title.
here. Council has no idea what they're doing by this paper that we have handed.
Yeah. The
Maintenance
first,
department. Does not
Sanitation.
say blah, blah, blah. Police department. Is he a trainee? Is he a chief like the chief is, or what?
Sergeant.
I mean, we don't know if they're getting paid what they should be getting paid to start with, because it's not out of
When
money.
this
Yeah,
says
why is
police, it
generalized?
doesn't have like chief,
I wanna see it.
sergeant, and I know you have recruits.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know if they're,
It's in that budget, I think. It has one person in the sanitation
Yeah, just
department.
yeah.
Does he pick up all the garbage, drive a garbage truck?
We have one guy that's classified under 2 jobs, water and sewer.
is there-
We don't have those job classifications that I found.
No. Look
That's
what
all I
We
the-
need to get people's names right too.
Didn't I email you a copy of the personnel ordinance, Ms. Elliott?
You emailed me a copy that you had changed yourself and this council has not approved.
No, that's right, but that was a draft
right.
copy. That was a draft copy. Now,
That's
real
right.
one.
That's all it
I
was.
have the real one
Well,
as well.
but
And I
that,
have
I
mine.
haven't
even that draft copy has got those duty descriptions in it with a police, with their,
We did not approve that one, Mayor.
well, no, but it's similar to the, that's not the official one. We've got the official one back here.
I have the official one.
Well, then you've got the job descriptions in
I
the.
do. I do.
Yeah.
Also, since you mentioned job
I think I have the
descriptions,
real one.
I have saw, that we have people driving vehicles that should not be driving vehicles that do not have a driver's license.
don't know of
Should
one.
not have been hired because they do not have a driver's license.
I don't think anybody that I know of, that you might be correct, but I don't know of
am
any.
correct.
She is
I
correct.
No, I'm correct. 'cause
You
I
can
That's all
think-
I have now. Pass it on down and let other.
Would you write those names down, give them to me after, in back?
No, I'll let somebody else talk about it right now, and then I will later.
Okay.
if necessary.
Let's take a
That's
break
all
in
I
that. I wanted to point out to you that the radios have been received, the claim, the grant's been closed out, and the radios are in place right now for the radios that you you and I went and got the training and the radios are here in place, and the grant's closed out. And the money is on the way. You haven't got the money yet, though, but it's coming. Now, the cold severance tax money, you know we have $50,000 of that. And when I put in for it, I applied for roofing on the water and sewer plant.
That's not what we agreed to.
We're supposed to have a public hearing.
Yeah.
The public hearing scheduled, okay, for that, what, 18th or 16th?
16.
But-
Is it scheduled
but
at a
we have
time
to-
that
See,
working
Mayor,
people
we had
can
said
come?
we wanted to see what we could spend that money on.
Yeah.
And then you tell us that
We
you have
have-
applied for that.
Well, when we have to put in the grants and things, we have to tell them what we can use it
But we
for.
were also told that we could
But you
change
got,
that
you went ahead and got
purpose of
quotes,
purchase.
we didn't have to do that. You could tell them what you're
I
gonna
got
use it for,
tutoring.
we didn't have to have quotes.
No, I have to have good quotes for the roof, if you want to do it. It's up to you if you want to do it.
I know
think-
Parker said that we
Okay,
could
if you
still-
want to do the roofs on the water and sewer plant, I'm not going to argue with you about it. The water and sewer plants and the maintenance building roofs are in terrible shape. The
I agree.
inside of the buildings are falling out, and that's one of the reasons we could use these grants. But if you don't want to do it, fine and dandy, we'll close it up, okay? But if you want to consider
Well,
the
why are you
grants,
bringing that up now? We're having, according to the Harlan Daily, we're having a public hearing on the 16th.
well, the grants are here though.
4:30.
But
Well, we can't do
Well,
anything about it until.
I need to
public
tell,
Under the agreed order we had, we were getting penalized for things at the water and sewer plant.
okay.
But like the ladders, those need to be put back on those tanks to save us from getting hit
We're
with that
trying to
anymore.
we're trying to get the money for that. We're working on it.
Right there's money can be used for that.
No, this is coal severance tax money. The money to put the ladders back on has to come from the water department.
Why?
It's in the water, we're
I don't
gonna work,
think so.
you priced a roof for the water and sewer plant.
That's maintenance. That's building maintenance is what that is.
This is
That's what we
maintenance.
said,
Put a
we wanted
ladder
to
up
see
right
what
there.
we could spend that money on, because I think we
Okay.
can use it on stuff like that myself.
We're getting the water tanks repaired. We got a grant that's applied for that, and we're working on that
With
too.
who? Who applied for it?
Monarch Engineering.
No,
Oh.
no. We're talking about the city using our money. We're not waiting on Monarch. Listen, I'm
No,
telling
wait,
you about this Monarch. You said you bragged on them something terrible. That's okay. But I'm telling you now, you get a rose is pretty. You handle it, it's gonna stick you every time. You wait and mark my words.
We never agreed to let
I'm not saying
them
you
do any of
anything, but
that.
I'm saying, do
You
not
sit right here
plan.
and told them to go ahead with the claim for
Do not
USD.
sit and plan for that, Mayor.
USD.
You need to take care of what you
You
got.
gotta put that out for bids.
Yeah.
Well, it will be put out for
We
bids.
can't sit and wait on them. We need to take care of things now.
You don't have the money right now.
No, because you won't spend it on something else instead of letting us look at what we can spend
No,
it
this
for.
is all grant money. This is all grant money. Not
I
one
understand
dime.
that.
This is
We
all
understand
grant money.
it.
We need to take care of what we're getting cited for, so we
Yeah.
don't have to go back and do that.
Yeah.
If we need a roof, I understand that, but we may have to wait until we can get out from under these agreed orders before we start on that stuff.
No, we can't wait for that. That's, Frank,
No,
Hey,
we
hey,
don't.
It's gonna
Frank-
cost a lot more money if we start waiting.
Yeah.
No,
You start getting
We're not-
structural
we're not
damage,
wanting his opinion. We're
foundation.
talking
No,
about what we're
I'm
doing
just
with
This
telling
has
money.
you.
nothing to do with that.
It has nothing to do with Mr.
there's,
I mean, you know, don't bring him in on it, Mayor. I mean,
I'm not bringing it. I wanted to tell him something, but, not ask him anything. I was going to tell him something, but I want him to bother telling me. This is,
Are we under council comments?
It was Miss Elliott's turn.
Yeah.
I had said I was through. I said I highly disapprove of giving raises across the board now because we have no idea what it is. We're going to tighten our belts. I think I already made all that clear. We're going to tighten our belts. Money is scarce now. We're wasting money that shouldn't be wasted. I mean, we sit there and talk about wasting money tonight. We need
By
to
the
start
thousands.
pinching pennies so people can keep their jobs. We
Is that
don't
all
want
you-
to come to the end of the year and be in the same shape we were last time when you were sending us little memos telling us we were gonna have to come in and help decide who was gonna be laid off. I don't want it to happen again.
we need. Now, what do you have, Mr. Raleigh?
Basically, right now, we just cannot, as much as I'd love to give every employee a raise, there's just no way we can afford it. You look at the time we're living in and what just happened with the coal mine, that coal severance money is gonna hit rock bottom. It's not that the people aren't worth it, but most of them have already, some of them have not even got past their probationary period, and you're already talking about raises. I just don't see how we can afford it, period. Like, you moved one, let's see here. It says sanitation now, but he was actually maintenance supervisor. Looks like you moved him to something else, he's still getting the same pay. But you put another guy in that's making less. We just can't afford what you're doing with the raises. We can't afford that. Most of them have started out way above. Some of them it's been here. You got some that's been here 7, 8, 10 years that are barely being paid as what the newcomers are coming in at. That's kind of not fair to them. But we have to, I just don't think we can afford to raise it right now. I'll just put it to you that way. And we shouldn't be doing that until we get done with the budget and let the council approve it. Another thing is, when we, Monarch Engineering came in and they fixed some maps for us, is that correct? How did they come in and do their own maps, or did they come down and get Leo Miller's maps and then continue off of them?
No, they came in and got our maps that we had here for years. I think
So
Von
they
Melton.
copied Leo's.
No,
and
no,
then-
no. Leo didn't do our maps. Von Melton, Greer Engineering, and what's Bob Blankenship's company? They are the ones that did the maps.
He worked for,
Remember, he's the one.
Griss.
Greer. Greer.
Griss. He was out of Tennessee.
Yeah.
I'm just curious if we ever did that.
Oh, yeah, he came in and he got Bob Blankenship,
He worked for Griss Engineering.
Gress, and we got the maps that were lost from here, from him. And then Monarch Engineering sent their man down here to work with Bill Bashir's, a fellow by the name of Mark. They walked around for 3 or 4 weeks, walked all over the city,
Yeah,
following
I
on maps and tracking, putting down the size of the water lines, where the meters were and things of that nature. It didn't cost the city a coming, except for Bill Bashir's salary as a city employee. And they have agreed to do this work, all the research and studies for the city of Cumberland at no cost, only let them have an opportunity to be bidded on when their contracts come out, and you have to approve them right here. And you signed that, you approved the document where he agreed to do that.
Yes,
That-
we did. But
Yeah.
I didn't know there was emails going back and forth from him to you, telling certain things to leave out to the council, like the fees that he will be. You're saying he's doing it for free?
No,
If he
no,
gets
no.
the job, we get billed for these fees.
But that's professional fees that all engineers are entitled to. Mr. Miller does the same
I'm not
charge.
saying that. You said this is no cost to the city, but in one email that he had, it was talking about that would be fees, but there's no sense in bringing it up to the council at this time.
Not till the money was appropriated to pay it.
So it's
No,
not
that's
free. I just want to clarify that.
Yeah, nothing's free in this.
Oh, no, nothing's free. But now, he'll have an opportunity to bid on the jobs when they come out.
They all will.
Well, that's true. That's it.
But
That's
there
it.
shouldn't be
But-
emails
But
that-
you're misleading the people here. You're making them think that he's getting paid that or that. But
No.
his
I just made it clear that
he put in there what the professional fees would be if he got the job, or if any contractor, if any engineering firm got the job, that's what they would charge, which is established by the state.
and there are also mapping fees.
Yeah, but this is, so if he has to do more maps, which will be putting in new water lines.
I understand all engineering companies do that.
Sure they do.
I get that.
All of them do, yeah.
But you keep saying that this is being done at free of charge. It's not.
What he's doing now
He's
is
doing
free.
the same thing any other
We
engineering
don't owe
firm
him,
would do or could
we
do.
are not obligated to pay him one dime at this
I hope
point.
not.
What if he sends the bill later on down the road? Do you have this in writing that he's never going to
And
send the
you guys
bill?
approved it right here. When he said that,
I've never seen any of those emails until recently.
Listen, those people haven't, he's a straightforward, honest, upright person.
I didn't say he wasn't.
I read.
Huh? You don't think he is? Yeah, I mean, if you guys got reason to doubt, hey, tell me about it. You're here too.
Nobody's
Well, I
got
did
it.
try to look up their location just by using MapQuest, and it may be old, but when it popped up, it was an empty lot. But, you know, it may have been when they first took over and they just took a picture of their new business where it would be explained.
Can I read this to you? On October 26, 2012, the negotiation for engineering services were undertaken by the City of Cumberland City and Monarch Engineering. David Bowles, representing the engineer, proposed that the engineering fees be in accordance with the provisions of USDA Form 1942-19, Agreement of Engineering Services, including Attachment A, which outlines the design and inspection fees in conjunction with the actual construction cost. After a brief discussion, Mayor Carl Hatfield, representing the owner, accepted the proposal and instructed Mr. Bowles to contact the USDA Rural Development Office in London, Kentucky for further instructions. Mayor Hatfield also informed Mr. Bowles that this action in no way obligated the city for payment of engineering fees prior to the approval from USDA, and that until the city was in receipt and in acceptance of a letter of conditions from the USDA, and that no engineering charges should be incurred by the city. Mr. Bowles agreed, and the negotiations were considered complete.
That's fine.
Okay.
But mine had nothing to do with that. It was,
Okay.
they keep saying
This is
everything they're doing is free.
This is a respectable company. here, and we're doing business with him, and he's, I don't think he should be degraded or demeaned.
He's not been degraded. I asked you.
He's done a service to the city of Cumberland that we could not have otherwise had done, okay?
We've had a lot of companies come in and help us out, and they don't get as much recognition as you
Which
put out
ones?
to these.
Which ones?
What has Paul Miller done for you?
For me, for the city?
For the city?
He finished that sidewalk over there for $34,000. $3,400.
How many times he bring equipment up here for free?
Lots of times.
Nothing. I can't remember. One time,
Lots of times he's been doing things free.
Better move over.
how much has he made out? He comes up here for this Tri-City Utilities direct connection. How much money has he collected from that so far? David, you're the treasurer, right? How much money have you paid him?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't keep figures of
Has he
months
not
in my
worked for
head.
it?
Sure he has.
Yes.
Sure he has. Now, I'm not.
Did he not work for years and years and years trying to get this thing going?
He's
Free
getting
of
paid.
charge?
He's getting
Like
paid.
that?
He's getting paid for everything he does.
No, he didn't get paid for all that work he did before, working with
And
the
coming up
cities
finding
or
water
something.
leaks.
But he's getting paid. He's been paid over $130,000.
But how many
Maybe
times
he
has he
has
come up and
hours
find
when
water
he's
leaks
been-
for you for free?
He hasn't found any water leaks for the
Oh,
city.
no,
Now,
big
that was
difference.
another misunderstanding. That's another misquotation. The man did not find that water leak that he said they found up the upper
You're
river.
telling me
I'd hate to say
that
it,
Lee
calling the
Miller
magistrate a liar,
Associates has
too.
never done anything free for this city? Is that what you're telling me?
As far as I know. Now, no, I'll take it back. He looked at the wall up there one day. He happened to walk by with it at where they had a wall, a crack, a leak, a seepage in that wall at the water plant. And he mentioned this to me too later, that he had done that for free of charge. But he happened to walk by when Frank, was that me and you standing there with him, or was that Chris Obradovich? We were looking at that, you know that wall that's got that seepage in it by the
I think it was Chris.
by the heat pump. You know, we saw it there. And,
Oh, okay.
and he happened to walk by.
At the water plant.
And he said, no, that's not that serious, because it's something to that effect. But he said, now, but he mentioned that later as doing that for us for free of charge. And I
So
appreciated it.
you don't care much for his company, or you
No,
do?
I'm not saying that. He's done a lot of good work, but he's got paid for everything he's done. Just like, you know, like that telephone pole over that light switch that you said that didn't have the bulbs in top.
Yeah.
He was the one responsible for finishing the sidewalk, but I didn't say anything about the bulbs not being there because they forgot to put the electrical wire in the bottom of the sidewalk and run it up there.
Well,
So-
those
so I-
poles didn't come into way after the sidewalk was done.
No, well, the wire was supposed to have been there. They put the ground wire.
Well,
But
they paid a guy to put the electric wire in.
Well, who was overseeing it? I didn't go over and check it. Who was the engineer that got paid to do
I
the
think you
work?
paid Mr. Bullock, didn't you?
Yeah, for
put the
putting the
wire
wire
in.
in, but who was supposed to put it in to begin with?
Well, I wouldn't have any idea. I
Well,
wasn't- I
who was
wasn't on
overseeing the
council
project?
then.
Who was overseeing the project? The guy that got $3,400 was Mr. Miller now.
So you didn't inspect his work before he was done?
No, I didn't. I thought he did. He was the engineer, okay? But he got paid for it, but it.
Well, moving on to the last thing I have, is all
Okay.
these police, we had a police car that caught fire or melted, whatever it did. Have you had all those checked out?
Wayne, would you
What
want
I'm
to
worried about
respond?
is are they going to all burn up on us?
Well, that's a good question, and I've not got an answer, but I have called Chrysler Corporation the day that happened. They lied to me, said they didn't know, had no knowledge of
I
one
know
doing
I
that.
looked up, there's
I looked it
4 or
up,
5
there's 3 or 4 that I have found since
police
then.
cars.
Police cars only, police packages only, chargers only, what I looked up, it's what, the same thing you looked up.
Mhm.
I did get a call from them yesterday. They said they're gonna send a special agent in here, whatever that means, which probably don't mean a whole lot between me and you.
Is that treason?
But they're gonna send somebody in here by tomorrow or the next day, and they're gonna give me a call before 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And they're gonna send somebody in here, hopefully, to inspect that vehicle.
What I'm worried about is, we got 5 of those.
All
Let's say
same
you got
models.
somebody in the back of the car and you're in the station, and I know you've had to do this, or you're out on the scene, and there's somebody in the car. You
Well,
don't
we was in a
realize-
wreck when this occurred,
That thing feels full of smoke, somebody gets killed, it's on us.
but we got a,
But we got those cars, the instrument panels are lit up like Christmas trees.
Yeah.
It needs to be took to the dealer and fixed. It only worked by being plugged up to the computer and diagnosed on what's wrong
but
with it.
this was in the tail muffler part of it, and that's the way the other got on part
That's
that I
most of the
researched,
best,
right in the back of, what I call the muffler and the tailpipe.
The muffler is,
And it just melted, I don't know if you went and looked at it. It's
I
sitting
did,
up
I
there
went and
remains,
looked at it.
But it's melted, looks like a half moon.
It's probably
circle.
about that long and about
Right.
that tall. The back, looks like somebody just torched the back of the
That's
muffler.
it, looks like you
And the
did the
gas
bolt
tank's
on
not that far away from that muffler.
Luckily the gas tank, gooseneck, I call it, was on the opposite side of where
Yeah.
they had the explosion right there. Luckily, an officer responded, 2 officers actually responded with fire extinguishers so that tower burned down.
Yeah.
Which no knowledge of ours and no knowledge of anything in the
Oh,
instrument
I'm
panel.
not saying that
I'm
at
saying
all.
in the instrument panel didn't show anything wrong with the muffler system, which it should have. My understanding of what Chrysler Corporation told me,
Exhaust tip's not long enough?
well, no, they said, they tried to tell me the catalytic converter was stopped up. I said the car hadn't lost any power, and no lights come on or engine lights said
It
anything
only
was
got,
wrong.
what, 28,000 miles or 20,000
The
on
one
it?
that burnt, it's got, I think, approximately 60,000 miles.
That must have been one of the ones they were taking back and forth over to Hazard.
I
It seems
don't know how the
like
mileage
there's-
gone, but it's one of the higher mileage ones.
It seems like the gas mixture's not right.
Well, my concern is if somebody gets burned up and gets hurt, have the things checked out. We're gonna have to do it.
Have you already had it checked out? I mean, you've got it,
We're in the
you made
process.
arrangements on the
They
days
told
it
me not to
happened,
do anything
right?
to that car, they sent an agent down here.
Yeah.
They just said they didn't want nobody working on it, or nobody doing nothing to it, so.
They may reimburse you or fix it.
I hope they will give us another vehicle. I mean, I might be
Yeah.
hoping for the moon and scratching for something else, but I mean, you never
As
know.
long as it's
They
safe.
need to be
yeah,
too.
But as
don't
long as
want
they
nobody
take it
get
to a
hurt.
dealer, and if they want to take it to a dealership, if they want to take it to Auto World, they want to take it, there's one, I think, in Corbin or somewhere down in there.
Yeah.
As long as they'll research it and tell us what's wrong with it, because I'm like you, I'm got concerned of
We've got 4 more.
4 more
besides that.
vehicles. If I got a prisoner going from here to Verta to the detention center, and that
You
thing
risk
catches
the
on fire. what happens?
officer's life, the person that's in the
It's in the
back,
back.
or if,
People
God
on the
forbid, it
road.
knocks you out and everybody in oncoming traffic got
But the
hit.
worst thing, if you were a prisoner back in that car, you cannot get out of that, and if the electrical system goes out of that thing, there's no way to unlock that lock. If
So
you're
they
in
can
the
bust
back,
the
I'm
windows out.
talking about if you're in the back, unless you break the side windows out, because everything's by a key bob. Well,
It's just a big concern when I saw
everything's
it.
in and out.
Right now, the car is locked up in the
You know what I'm
bay
saying?
at the maintenance shop. It's not to be used for any purpose until after we get it
Right.
inspected by the manufacturer or whatever, okay?
Right.
That-
So we got the wheels turning, because I called on about an hour and a half after this incident occurred.
Yeah.
And I've got documentation, I've got actually a number of, a claim number and everything.
Is it safe to even leave it inside a bay? I mean, what if it's an
Yeah,
electrical
don't-
problem?
It's nothing to do with electric
It's
problems,
not.
it's either with the gas or something else with the exhaust system and it stopped up. I've got a confirmation number here that they gave me, and that's what I've been using, it's a big long number right here. I've got the number of times I've called them, and also, I'm like you, I looked up prior incidents of
Yeah.
this.
I found 4 or 5 and it was all squad cars,
Yeah.
all squad cars.
2 of them.
That's what struck me out about it, is something they're doing different with the package that they put on them. I don't
Some of them
know.
was in Oregon, some of them was in South Carolina.
One in
I'm not-
Connecticut.
One in Connecticut, and I've got 2 more, I've got them on this paper, but I've got a list of about 8 of them, really, if I went down the whole list of them.
Are they recalling them?
Not-
They never did give me an answer what they was gonna do with them.
Well, actually, one of them, not to take up too much time, but one of them in Connecticut, it was just took care of. I mean, they gave them a new car, as long as they made a
But see, they
disclosure
did-
not to comment on what they thought.
That's
caused the
what they
problem.
told me, they wouldn't give me nothing until they come down and look at it, but prior to looking this up, like you looked it up, I think something has received other vehicles to replace that.
Like you get time.
You just replace
While
one.
you're
That's
up
all
here-
I had, though.
You still got
me.
4 more.
While you're up here, somebody asked about the jackets a moment ago. Did you
Yeah.
tell them you got
Yeah.
jackets?
Yeah.
We got jackets,
Okay. Are they winter jackets like we talked about? or-
they're winter jackets, but we
Okay.
gotta put patches on them, but we got jackets, but we had to put patches on them.
Are they jackets you can use, or good jackets?
Well, they're usable jackets, they're not exactly jackets I wanted, but they're usable jackets, we can do
They're
that.
military style utility jackets is what they are.
Yeah.
Where did we get them from?
From a
Sportsman guy.
sportsman's guy.
Probably would.
Could have got it from Gauls.
Yeah, they usually police stuff comes from Gauls or.
Yeah, they're too expensive that way. Though. These are nice jackets. And these were really
What,
good
like
work jackets.
$34?
Well, you get what you pay for. I mean, that's
Yeah,
my
that's
opinion.
true.
You get what you pay for.
That's all I had on my part, I guess.
But hopefully, knock on wood, Wednesday or Thursday, we'll have some kind of representative down here to look at that vehicle.
When did you find out about all these other cars? I talked to you today.
On this,
Yeah,
I didn't
I mean-
find out this till later on, but I talked to them probably 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon. And then
But
I
you just
started
did that on research on the internet, is
Yeah,
that where you
right.
found
I just
that
did
at?
this.
Yeah,
Now,
it's
the
its own
corporation
research.
didn't, they wouldn't back me up on this, but we did some research.
but the,
after
but
they
the
told me
people
about
at
that.
Auto World or the manufacturer didn't mention the other
No, I
cars.
looked this up like he did independently. Google it, really, and that's how I come up with it.
Which dealership?
And there's some
did the
more.
cars come?
There's some more incidents, I don't know how foot deep he is research, but there's some more incidents, it's questionable that was caught on fire. It's said by exhaust leak systems or something, the way they worded it.
Some of them were the tips didn't come out far enough
Yeah,
past the
they
bumper.
clear the,
Yeah, that-
and most of them I could research is within our model range. It's like
Yep.
2 or 3 year model range.
2009.
2008, 2009.
Yeah.
But I'm like him, if somebody don't come up with it, we need to call all over and see if they'll send somebody over here
Yes.
locally, at least check it out before we.
Well, they never sent, did they, what kind of an excuse did they give you for not sending him when you called them before?
They didn't really give one, they just said they'd send somebody from corporate office. They didn't say it would be from Auto World, they said it would be a corporate person come down. I figure what they'll do is go by Auto World and get
As
a
long as-
rollback,
I
come
would
back
just
and
stay
take it
on
with
top
them.
of them.
As long as you're taking care of it.
I have caught them probably 4 or 5 times since this incident happened, so. I don't know if they're giving me the runaround, they're just, I think they're just
Covering the tail.
covering their tail as they come down here, or covering it up, because they don't want to get in the middle of it.
You take pictures of it, Frank?
Just, yeah, we have, I don't
Yeah.
know what he took pictures of, we have several
That'd be
pictures of it. I have pictures of it from when it happened up there, to when we got back to the maintenance building, we jacked it up, took some pictures of it. Actually, I'm gonna take it over to Cumberland Tire, put it up on a rack, and we're gonna take pictures from one end to the other of it.
Okay.
If that suits you.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's what I suggested earlier, remember?
But we just never had got over because they've been tied up with the racks today. I was gonna take it over there, but I'm going to before that, hopefully that agent comes in here.
Yeah. Make sure you get all your.
But I'm worried about the
pictures.
other, I'm worried, I'm worried about the other 4 vehicles. I mean, is always gonna do this when they get 60-some thousand miles on them, or this just a quirk if this one did it, you know what I'm saying? So,
Don't sound like a quirk
Well,
if you
we've
found
had-
those other ones,
We've
so
had
yeah.
2 of them, or maybe 3 of them, that had oil leaks that's been in the shop since they were new. Brand new, would lose every bit of oil out of them.
but a lot of that was because it's putting wrong oil filter on
I understand that.
No, I don't think so. We had to order the special order.
I was
that's
talking
what I'm
about when we
saying.
first
We're
got
talking
them.
Prior to, we're talking
We're
about.
talking about when
now.
we first got
When
them.
we
Yeah,
first
no.
got them, they didn't-
Not now.
Not here lately.
But not,
They
no,
haven't
not since,
told
I
us
don't
there
know
was
since you've been here, but when they first got them, they tried to put a
Regular.
cheaper brand oil filter on there and it leaked. I mean, and it leaked very much.
They
Yeah,
emptied
they
one
was
of
doing
them.
the oil changes and stuff on it.
Well,
Like at that
they were
time.
so new at that time, you're supposed to go to the dealership and buy the oil filters.
Yeah.
And apparently somebody was trying to go
We were having them done local.
locally and they was going
They're not
around the
local.
block not getting the original filter back, so.
Okay. All right. No one.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you
Okay.
cut corners, you get burnt, sometimes you get corners, you make it.
Just like in jackets, you get what you pay for.
You get what's paid for sometimes, so.
I'm
But
sorry about
the oil
that.
filters, definitely you gotta go with
They may not last you that long if it's
with the right
$34.
type, if you're not, you lose oil on it, so. Does that answer your question? I mean,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
but if you wanna come by, if they do give me an answer, I'll be willing to. If they don't get, I've got 2 numbers here, if you like. If they don't do something, we'll talk to them again. Well, we might have to tell them.
That's what I was getting to say.
We
Good
might
thing
have
we
to have
got
this
Mr.
fellow
Lee here tonight.
intervene
didn't
in here with us sooner or later if somebody
So
don't.
once we find out,
That's
we may
right.
have to get Mr. Lee to do some
He
digging.
might need to call.
Or give them a letter or something of interest to them.
That's right.
But what concerns me, we have 4 others of them, and
Yeah,
is
when's
this
that
just
gonna
one
happen?
quirk, or is this gonna happen to all of them
Yeah.
when we get the top mileage on them?
Scary, scary.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Is that all you had?
Yes, sir.
What about Mr. Bush?
I only had one thing just to bring up, and I didn't know until just a little bit ago that Mr. Lee was the one that was gonna be here
I'm
tonight.
sorry. Yeah.
And I thought, okay, I'd heard word of mouth that some council members were contacted. I knew nothing. And I thought,